we go.
All right, let's go. Hey, what's up, guys? We back. Reality Sucks, Amazing Cal to my left, and me, Ty, the classic man.
Thank you for tuning in. We just want to thank you for all the love that you've been showing us on this new reality talk show. We appreciate it for everybody tuning in. It has been amazing so far. We just want to thank you for the love. Thank you for our viewers. We appreciate you.
So, what's been going on in people's lives these days?
What are we talking about?
Today, it's kind of off the top of my head, I guess you could say. But there's this new movie coming out called Detroit.
It has came out already. Yeah, it came out last month, July.
Well, it's been in some theaters. It's been out.
Has it been okay? Has it been
nationally?
Okay? Nationally.
Nationally, right.
Okay.
They got it in some theaters though. It's by this white lady. Her name is Catherine Bigelow. She decided to tell this story, and they did a piece on her in this magazine called Variety. And I decided to read it because she had to see what she had to say and how she felt about writing this movie.
Okay. Tell me about it.
You know, we always want to say, how can a white person write about our stuff or our history?
Exactly.
But in actual reality, we're not really doing it. And the way that we're doing it, I don't know if we're doing it the right way, we're doing it the wrong way, but I don't know if we're making these movies and not really getting into depth of what this is really about, because we live this every day, you know what I mean? And we're not basically doing anything about it. We're just watching stuff, seeing stuff, and then just like letting it raw stuff right back, and then something else happens, and then we got to get all upset about it again, and then, you know, nothing happens, and then so we're either going to start making things happen, or we're just going to lay back and do nothing.
So what do you think about them saying this lady that wrote the movie? I've read up on her a little bit, Catherine Bigelow. It's a story, you know what I'm saying, actually it's our history, about, so what was it? It was 40%, you know what I'm saying, in Detroit, you know what I'm saying, was only black. It was only black people, black residents. And then we have a 95% of cops that's, you know what I'm saying, predominantly, you know what I'm saying, white or Caucasian.
Right.
And they tell the story, you know what I'm saying, about the civil rights as well back then in 1967. 1967 as well.
So for y'all that don't know, this is the Detroit riots that happened at this hotel. Forget the name of the hotel. I think it was called the Azure Hotel.
Okay.
The Algiers Motel. That's what it was. Algiers. I might be pronouncing it wrong.
Okay.
I may not be. But this was about these. So there was people staying, and there was even these two white girls who was in there who also got beat too, because they were trying to find out. So this guy came into the hotel. He shot a gun, and it could have been blanks. He shot it in the air. He didn't shoot nobody. He hurt nobody. None of that. He shot blanks, and then he runs out of the hotel. Now the police come, and they want to find out who did this.
Correct.
So in order for them to try to find out who did this, they were beating up the people that were inside and killed 3 black men in the process. And injured, I think, 100 and something people at the same time.
118.
118, looking uncorrected. But she's telling the story of it. But it is basically about being suppressed and, you know, held down. And so they had them in this place, and then nothing. So they took them to court, and nothing. And these guys got off for killing these people and hurting all these other people.
Sounds like the story today.
Yeah, it's not, and that's what she says in her interview in this magazine. It was really something to be heard and said by a woman that's writing something like this, going to go in history and do something like this.
Right. And I think it's so great that, you know what I'm saying, she wants to tell it through, I haven't seen the movie as of yet, but she wants to tell it through her point of view and see it through her eyes. Catherine Bigelow actually, you know what I'm saying, started making these movies that was, you know what I'm saying, predominantly, you know what I'm saying, worked into the male genre from back in 1982.
Yeah.
If we don't know, you know what I'm saying, she started, you know what I'm saying, her debut film was actually Heartless, as well as that. So she started that movie, and then she just won in 2006, you know what I'm saying, for another great movie called The Hurt Locker.
Right.
As far as that. And then, you know what I'm saying, she starts moving, and she's been great, you know what I'm saying, with directing movies, and far as, what's that movie, Point Break. She did Point Break as well as that. And she actually called that movie, you know what I'm saying, a story about wet cowboys. Since they were surfing, it was cowboys, it was going in robbing banks. But the more of the story, she wanted to, you know what I'm saying, write a story about, you know what I'm saying, this movie, you know what I'm saying, particularly, you know what I'm saying, 1967. 1967 when it happened. This is telling about, you know what I'm saying, our story and our struggles. And I thought, I wanted to see the movie through her eyes, and, you know what I'm saying, and through her vision, and what she saw in the movie, and why she wanted to tell it.
So she says she wanted to tell it because here you have a white, I'm going to tell you quote for quote in her, what she wrote.
Okay, tell me.
What was in the magazine. Here you have a white woman who was telling the film about something that happened in the black community.
Right.
He says she feels so passionate about it. You don't have people in the black community who don't even feel as passionate about it. But she's gripped her heart, and she couldn't turn away from it.
I agree.
This is why she had to tell this story. It touched her somewhere inside of her and said, well, nobody else is telling it, so I'm going to tell it
Right.
the best way that I know how to tell it, and I'm going to get the truth out of it rather than make something for Hollywood.
Okay, I agree.
She's also had some more quotes in here. She also interviewed, they also interviewed her with another couple other people that were in the movie. Where was I going? Oh, the girl there was one girl that was in the movie, who was not in the movie, but who was one girl who was there, and she had a survivor's tale in this magazine. Her name was Karen Malloy.
Okay.
No, she was with her friend. Her name is Julie Heisel.
Okay.
And she was with her friend Karen Malloy in this hotel when these people came in and started doing all this. She even moved away and changed her name to try to forget about what happened to her after the guys got off, because they were like, this is not right. You know what I mean? She says, I'm shocked that 50 years later, this is still happening. Heisel says, I've tried to raise my kids and my grandkids with the idea that everybody should be treated equally, no matter your color or your sexual preference or whatever. Everybody's a person. You don't go around shooting people.
But you know the interesting thing about that, so a reporter was interviewing Catherine Bigelow, and she said, she viewed them, how they was burning down their own city, their own town, as well as that, and she said that was kind of such as Ferguson. And Ferguson, we was doing the same thing. She said, don't take this movie, as of, to go out there and start, race wars as well as that. But she said it's so identical, what's happening today as well. And it really is so identical when we look at, the people, have gotten off at the end of the day, with, with people, the cops shooting, our community of black people, as well. And they're getting off.
But we got to ask ourselves, how are they getting off?
You tell me.
Because they're getting off because jury of their peers let them off. So who in the world put these people on juries decide that these police officers should get off with seeing what they saw and letting these people just walk? You know what I mean? That's where we start to think. Like our neighbor. This is your neighbor going into a jury and prosecuting this cop that shot this person, but they don't feel that they did anything wrong. You know what I mean? As Trevor Noah said on his show, that's just crazy. How is that not possible? But you would go as a jury and you'll put a guy with shooting somebody else on the street, you know what I mean, for 20, 25 years to life, you know what I mean? But you won't do it to a cop, you know what I mean? And then there's another thing that I want to talk, as we got the cops here. So in Jersey, I've been seeing this now, they have an American flag now, and they have a police flag.
Oh, I never saw that. They got a police flag? I never saw a police flag.
There's a police flag. It's black, white, and blue.
No, I never saw that.
Yeah,
I got
black,
a police
blue, and
flag.
white.
I never saw that.
And it's hung with an American flag. Now, hey, you trying to tell me that soldiers are more important than the police? Because that's what you're basically saying. You're telling me that an American soldier is the same grounds, is the same level as a police officer.
No, what America is saying, actually, we allow, anything and everything to go. So when you look at it from that point of view, this is the only country that we can come in here, and allow anything to go. You can come in here and be whatever you want, and that's the key thing when you look at it. You come here, what have you ever seen? Another country. You come in here where we celebrate every paganism. We celebrate every tradition, and everything goes as well. So pretty soon there's going to be all type of flags at the end of the day as well. So when you look at that, don't say it's the same thing, but we allowed everything to go. Nowhere else in any other country we celebrate every pagan holiday. We celebrate, every now you come in here and be. It is true. You can be all you can be. At the end of the day, because we allow everything to come. You can't come in at my house. And that's the thing about it. You can't come in my house, and bring your bunch of garbage here and celebrate this. But in America, it's more of a garbage dumping ground. Don't matter if it's right, wrong, or we don't care because we turn a blind eye. You said something about, about the community and about the jury. We got to remember who selects our juries. The juries are handpicked. As well, who selects them?
The jury,
as well. The
lawyers.
So it's debatable as well. When you look at that from a thing, so how are people getting off? When you think about it. Juries are selected.
They are.
They are hand selected. They are hand picked. And the same thing that happened in 1967, it's the same thing that's happening
now.
in 2017. So how can you say, what's the comparison? The comparison, racism has not stopped. Is what they said. Well, why has racism has not stopped? Racism, has always been there, but now it has been more in power through social media, through all these streams that we're having today. So it's always been there. It's just being more exposed now. When you look at that situation, talk to me, baby.
Totally. No, I get that.
What's going on, Latoya? I see my girl out there.
So this was So then they had interviewed this guy. I think his name was Dick Gregory, who was also a
Dick Gregory's amazing.
Yeah, he was also boycotting back then too.
Yes, he was.
Too, and he had some powerful moments too. He says he said some things in his interview. Black folks many times assume all cops are bad until proven otherwise, and white folks typically assume all cops are good until proven otherwise. Recently, we have seen rare cases of police brutality in non-black communities, which has caused outrage, utter shock, and confusion. If these white cops were killing white folks, dogs like they were killing my children, white women would have burned down police stations down all over America. And this was so powerful that I had to talk about this because this is so true. You know what I mean? So all these black folks were killed in all these past 5 to 10 years, starting with Sean Bell. Right? And now, I don't know if you heard about the lady that got killed, the white lady that killed the Australian woman down in, I forget where it was at, but this Australian white woman was killed. They put this white woman off the force and fired her, and now I think she's going to be going to court too. I don't know the whole story, but I do know that they fired her, and they're going to, whatever they're going to do now, what they're going to do. So what is the difference in her shooting this white woman and all these black people that's been shot over these years? I'm just trying to understand how we let people just get off on the way they want to get off, and then let people go to jail when they want to let them go to jail. Because eventually, somebody's going to blow up and break. And when societies haven't had enough of this oppression and being beat down, somebody gonna break. That's and what y'all gonna do when it breaks? Because y'all don't even understand the power that we actually really have if we actually stood up together and say, no, we're not gonna take this together on one level ground, not on 10 or 20 different level grounds, maybe 5. Because I think about 5 of us, we can all agree on something within five. As a unit, we're gonna give us 5 things that we can agree on and fight for and go for it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what are we gonna need to do to try to make this.
I think the thing we need to do is, start uniting at the well.
How are we gonna start uniting?
Okay, well, so we have to have some type of common goal.
So as you say that, now Dick Gregory said this in his paper too.
Yes.
He says, real change takes work. It takes us doing more to turn our neighborhoods into communities. It requires us to have meaningful purposes to live, and a willingness to be uncomfortable to change our reality. Police brutality harms and emotionally distresses entire communities.
Now that's great. That's great what you said, Tom. But let's look at it from this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna close this book right now. That's what Dick Gregory said. What do you say?
No, no.
Forget what they say.
I feel the same way that he feels.
But everybody doesn't feel the way he
But what I'm
does.
saying, I know everybody don't feel the way. But that's what we have to start doing.
No, but is you sure we have to start doing it? Because at the end of the day, when you look at this stuff, that's like somebody reading the book. This guy says this. That's great what this guy says, and I'm not taking nothing away from Dick Gregory.
I'm not saying that. No. I'm saying that I relate to what he's saying.
You relate.
I've been saying this for a long time.
I hear what you're saying.
We need to start uniting as one instead of being so separate and so different, because we all are alike. We grew up with this, we grew up around the same shit. We grew up, excuse my friend.
Yeah.
We grew up around the same people. We grew up in the same neighborhoods. But then we just forget that somebody else is coming behind us that's going to do the same thing. Now, how do we make it better for them so they don't do the same thing that we did or make the same mistakes that we made? Because this is where it starts, and we start teaching each other and start educating each other on what is right and what is wrong, and stop not listening. Or when you decide that you disagree with somebody, you decide that your point is more valuable than that person's point, because it's not. You know what I mean? Both of your points are valuable. You just have to be open to listen to logic sometime, or even just to have an open ear. Even if you don't agree with it, this is how you learn. When you don't agree with somebody, that's how you learn. Because all you have to do is listen.
That's to a certain extent.
To a certain extent. I'm saying to a certain extent. I'm saying in a conversing.
Yes.
Because I know somebody that I have a conversation with all the time.
Go ahead.
They're very anti-black, and I get it, and I understand it, and I get it, but you cannot be closed down to logic, or you can't be closed down to reality, or what in your feelings and how emotionally it is attached to you. Because I get it. I get it. You know what I mean? How many times can I say, oh, slavery has made me mad, I'm oppressed, and I'm mad, yeah.
Right.
But if I live that shit, if I live that every day,
that's a problem.
then I have a problem.
I agree.
You know what I mean? If I'm not trying to do anything better with it, or trying to do something more with it, rather than just talk about it and then not do anything with it, but just keep running into the ground, of course I'm going to be oppressed, of course I'm going to be angry. But if I'm trying to change something, or trying to make something better, then it would be better. And you can make it better. All you got to do is just find people that just want to join in and do it.
I agree with that. I agree with everything you're saying. But I think, when we look at, that situation as well, we talked about we all grew up around the same people. I think you said that in your statement.
Right.
Just because we grew up around the same situation and we may came from the same projects or the same community, somebody's out there thinking different. How can I reach them? I'm more interested, in the minute than the majority. When you look at that from that point of view. I'd rather, reach, the 20 than the hundreds. Because
totally.
And that's how I kind of see it. So I want to be able kind of reach them, because everybody's, today is doing the same thing. But if you look at it, if they're doing the same thing, we look at, 50 years, 60 years later, if they was doing the same thing and nothing has changed, because when you look at it, 1967, 2017, we're still, burning down, our own businesses. We're still rioting, slavery, it's not slavery.
And that's another thing you gotta stop doing is rioting, because rioting ain't doing it but burn down your own shit.
But look at it from this point of view.
Sorry.
Wait a minute, hold up, let's stop that. Let's look at it from this point of view. They said we are burning down our shit, but what if they look at I'd rather sacrifice to get sacrifice my shit.
If you want to burn something down, you go to City Hall and burn that down.
Stop.
That's your problem.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I'm just saying the truth.
Disagree.
I'm just saying the truth.
Disagree.
Okay,
I can disagree.
You can't disagree.
That's cool.
But
And that's what you just said. And that's what you said. Be open to listen.
Why you disagree?
Listen, can I talk?
I want to know
All
why you
right.
disagree.
So think about this. You're not getting your point across. People have went to the justice, and everything, and they haven't still gotten, an answer. We talking about over 60 years. Why is the same thing occurring? When have they got their attention? How has attention been? When you look, hold up, look what I'm saying. They was talking about it all on Facebook, for the last 3 months, when Ferguson was happening and everything else was happening. When they got the attention, of the world, when they start burning down their own stuff.
Right.
Why does it take for me to don't look at this burning down. Why does it take me to sacrifice what I have, what I built up to get your attention? Because you know what? My sacrifice, is greater to what's going to come. So you have to look at it from a different perspective. Wait a minute, perception is reality. People, you look at it like, I'm burning down my own stuff. I'm getting your attention. If I got to burn down, my building to get your attention,
then I'm doing then that's fine.
You tell me. It got the attention.
It did get the attention.
It get the attention.
It get
but
the
hold
attention.
up. Everything doesn't work the way we may think it may work.
No, it doesn't.
Come on now.
No, it doesn't.
Come on now.
It
But
doesn't.
hold up. Think about it from that. I got your attention.
But you got
Only
my
thing you want to
attention.
do is get your attention.
That's all I want
Talking
to do.
to you sometimes doesn't get your attention. But doing an abstract act may get your attention.
That is true.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't be, we can't
But
be
I'm saying
basic.
we can't. But burn that. Go to City Hall. Go down to the police office.
It didn't work. They did it. It didn't work. Now what?
I don't know, but
It didn't
don't burn
work.
down our stuff, because
Well,
one person we're hurting is us.
But you have to look at if I burned it down, I build it up.
Because there were a couple of, I don't know.
I burn it down and I build it up.
You can't.
Sometimes you got to crush something, to bring it back to life, as well.
True.
Because every end has a new beginning.
True.
So you have to look at it from that point.
And then on top of that, we have all these new TV shows out that all these black TV shows out. Scandal. You got.
Oh, we looking at Scandal now. We going to Empire and Scandal.
We got Empire, Scandal, Carmichael Show, and Shots Fired. Now, out of all those four,
Shots Fired.
Out of all those, this is my point.
Okay.
Out of all those 4 shows on social media,
Sharice, what's going on? How you feel?
On every black channel that we watch, Fox 5 and all that. I have nobody talking about it on Facebook, but everybody want to post every Friday morning when it was on Thursdays about Empire and Scandal. Now somebody brought some attention the other day about Scandal. I ain't watching nothing that a black woman is messing up somebody's happy home. And this is the stuff, they put stuff on television for us to watch that we don't even like, that we talk about every day, and then we just dive right into it like
because
it's
they condition us.
That's
slightly.
My point exactly.
Conditioned.
My point exactly.
Because,
so
but everybody
if you
loves
know
Scandal.
that you don't want nobody messing with your husband, why would you watch something of some woman doing some crap like that?
Because
knowing
it's
that
conditioned,
this is TV.
and it becomes great, and that's what happens, and people take that.
But nobody watches the Carmichael Show where they're giving you live black
Scandal
stuff.
But did you see the Scandal? People love Scandal, but they hated Alicia Keys. when she went with
Are you
Swiss B.
serious?
They hated Alicia
Look at
Keys.
that.
But they praised Scandal.
And just so you know, they lightened Kerry Washington's skin for that show. Because Kerry Washington ain't never been that light. She wasn't that light in Save the Last Dance. She will never be that light because that's not her skin complexion. So, just so y'all know. And then Carmichael's show, Shots Fired, was one of the greatest shows on television. This first season, they only had one season.
Exactly.
But they coming back for a second. But they was the best show because they were talking about...
What's my girl name? She's from Love and Basketball. I forgot her name.
Sanaya Lathan.
Oh, my small lady.
So they talking about riots in this little southern town, and they get to the bottom of this kid that was murdered.
Exactly.
And they're trying to get to the bottom, but they individually did. But they did they had to go through some stuff to get where they wanted to go, but they stuck it out and they did it. You know, and the community wasn't rioting, you know what I mean? They were trying to make everything work, and they had this one black lady who was a leader who didn't believe in fighting or nonviolence, you know what I mean? So
the church leader.
But she
was behind a lot of stuff too.
She wasn't with them. She wouldn't ride with them. That's the whole thing.
They were trying
to make her out to be who she wasn't. And then when she told them that I wasn't going to do it, because I don't know if you saw that episode, but she told them she wasn't going to do it.
I saw that.
And then she was like, then they were like, okay, well now you're on your own. So this is what I'm saying. So
let's look at
they
this.
tried to make her
What happened when she got the son, you know what I'm saying, the mother's son beat up? Mm-hmm. She got the mother's son beat up in John. How is that okay? I don't care. I don't care.
You know why?
Yeah, I do know why. I saw it. Because he was out there doing things he shouldn't be doing.
Sometimes you got to go to extremes to stop.
Oh, so we have to be abstract.
I'm not saying
so
that
we have to be abstract?
I'm not saying that it's right.
That's like burning down my own property.
It is.
Okay. So now it's okay to beat up somebody else's child.
I'm not saying that.
And the mother, you know what I'm saying, wasn't really okay. So what are you saying?
I'm not saying that it was right.
You're saying something.
I'm not saying that it was right.
Okay, you're saying something.
Who was that? Who was that?
I don't know.
Who was that? Malcolm X, by any means necessary.
Who Malcolm X is?
Like I said, by any means necessary.
By any means necessary? Nah, that's crazy. They don't have any means necessary on that one. You know what I'm saying? You got to do that trick too? I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So, but yes, and that's what this is what I keep telling you. You know, I keep trying to. I'm gonna keep pushing it, and I'm gonna keep saying it. Y'all keep posting up all this stuff on social media. You know what I mean? Everything is great about your family and your kids and all that stuff. And then you want to post stuff about black or white. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of gossip on social media. You know what I'm saying?
Post some real stuff. Forget all that gossip. Forget posting somebody's fight that you saw on what's that All Star Hip Hop? I mean, I'm sick. You know,
All Star Hip Hop?
That's what is it called?
World
Star. That's what it's
called.
World
Star. Yeah, World Star.
Y'all are making a fool of yourself on World Star.
You know what the thing about that is?
Idiot,
we make a fool of ourselves.
We make a fool of ourselves on our World Star.
Because we're connected, right?
And then you expect them to treat us better when we go out into the world. How are they going to treat us better when they're looking at that on television every day or every night, laughing at us and looking at these fools?
That's correct.
Look at these fools, because that's what I say to them when I look that video I saw the other day of these girls fighting. I'm like, and nobody stopped the fight. Everybody put up their cable to start videotaping.
Did you see the episode, you know what I'm saying, where they videotape about the man right here in the Bronx? I think the African man that sells stuff right here on 149th Street as well. He got beat up.
They beat him, and everybody videotaped.
They beat him up.
Beat him up
on the ground.
And everybody walking by not saying nothing. Now this guy been selling out there every day. Every day he probably done made friends out there. He knows people's families and kids.
How's that okay?
Nobody stopped.
How's that okay? Well, no, so where they do that at?
But what did this man do?
Exactly.
That he had to be beat up that day like that.
You know, but at the different, you know what I'm saying? Who made you hate yourself?
Right.
Who made you that angry? Who made the thing about it? Forget the anger that, you know what I'm saying, that's coming out of you. Who told you that you was ugly? Who said you that made you hate yourself? That you have to, you know what I'm saying, project that much violence
to people or any.
But that goes to anything. That goes with social media. You know what people do today? They use gossip as a bonding tool.
Right.
So I'm gonna gossip to you about somebody else
or hurting
because
hurting tool.
All these negative streams we use as bonding tools to connect. Now, if I could connect to you, you know what I'm saying, with something negative,
bullying at a whole different level.
That's true. If I could connect to you negatively, what does that say about you? And then we'll post positive vibes. I'm positive. How is that? What does that look like positive? Because you wear a positive t-shirt and a hat, that makes you positive? Actions don't even look, positive actions don't even exist no more.
Thanks, Ty.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, his name is Ty too? Oh, okay, I like that. All right. Thank you, Ty. I appreciate that.
So, I mean, but yes, because...
Yeah, it was sad, Juanita. I agree with you. It was sad.
It was crazy. But, you know, I mean, y'all you get sick and tired of us talking about this and hearing it, but we're going to keep preaching until...
That's right. We're going to keep talking about this.
Until we change something, because... I'm done. I'm done watching it.
But you know what? You said a key word about changing. You know what the thing about it is? You know what? You know when changing? How can you be changed? This is where the conflict comes in, and it's always going to come in every day. you could be changed, but if you don't change your surroundings, because you're changed, you'll always have conflict.
Always have conflict.
You know what I'm saying? Because how am I going to be converted and my surroundings are not converted? Then it's always going to be war and conflict. I'm changed, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing better, but then I hang around the same area, the same people, you know what I'm saying, and have the same energy. That's not going. It's always going to be a conflict. My father used to say this: if you keep hanging around the barbershop, you want to get a haircut sooner or later. He used to say, whatever's in the wash going to come to the rinse.
Come to the rinse.
But you have to look at it from there. You can't be so changed and so whether you saved, whether you believe in Christ or whatever, so how and then hang around the same people and have the same bad energy and expect everything to be great. Sometimes we have to break away from our surroundings. You want that new life? That new life is going to cost you, know what I'm saying, your present life. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to, know what I'm saying, disregard the old you. You know what I'm saying? To receive the new life.
Going to be built, and you got to be ready for the change that's about to be happening. And that's another thing. It's scary when you don't know what's on the other side. I mean, but once you take that first step, you know what I mean, it's everything else will lay itself out, and then you won't be scared anymore. And that's the main thing. It's like, well, I've been doing this for so long. What am I going to do after I stop doing this? Well, something else is going to come in its place. That's the whole thing. You get rid of something, something else comes in. Like they say, when one door closes, another one opens.
But what do we allow to come through that door? Because if you get rid of all this, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to just take, you know what I'm saying, chronic things, what we look. If you get rid of all these things that, you know what I'm saying, that you claim are negative, or claim that, you know what I'm saying, are disgusting, you know what I'm saying, and bring you down, you have to fill it with something. Because if you don't fill it with something, something else could come negative, you know what I'm saying, back into place. But you have to fill it with something. And sometimes we become too idle, and we become, you know what I'm saying, too, like I said, too idle and too open, you know what I'm saying, where nothing else fills it, and then all these other things coming. It's like, you know what I'm saying, taking one bad evil out and entering another evil in. Come on, let's be for real.
Totally.
It's like, what do we really want to do? You used to say something about becoming a better you. But becoming a better you is going to cost you something.
It's going to cost us something. Every day.
It's going to really cost you something.
Every day.
Man, listen.
Every day.
How you going to be a better you and you don't expect to go through that crush
every
in that
day.
ground?
You got to go through that crush, because if you don't go through that crush, the work doesn't mean nothing.
Exactly. And I agree with you 100% on that. Man, you know what I'm saying? It's powerful.
So I also saw this thing on Facebook today. I was watching Facebook. They started.
Thank you, Carlos. I appreciate you tuning in.
Instead of giving kids detention in school, they were giving them yoga and meditation.
What?
Yeah, instead of going to detention, they would do yoga and meditation.
This school has become so lax.
But what
does that mean?
But you know what yoga and meditation does?
What it does?
It helps them relieve stress, helps them deal with anger issues. You know what I mean? They get out a lot of stuff. Yeah, because
I'm still down with the old way.
So wait. But let me tell you. In a year, there were no suspensions in the school.
Okay, I bet there was. But you know what? You know what happened in a year?
Calmer. They also helped the kids discuss.
I'll put you on the spot.
During tests.
Put you on the spot in a minute.
Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? What school was this? What area?
I don't know.
Okay, wait a minute.
I saw the video.
What school was this? What area? And what was the demographic?
I don't know. I don't know all that.
You know what I'm saying?
But come on, They didn't give me all that information.
You know what I'm saying?
I was trying to get all the information I could get. That was all the information they gave me. I'm sorry, Facebook. That's all they gave me.
But I'm looking at that. You said, well, I was giving. All right, I want them to get this. I want them to go in Bed-Stuy and give kids meditation. That kids are bringing guns to school. That kids are bringing knives to school. I want to go, you know what I'm saying, to broken family houses that parents send their children to school. You know what I'm saying? That basically the parents are probably absent, you know what I'm saying, from the house sometime as well. I hope they're not, but they might be absent from the house and give the school meditation and yoga. Man, come on, man. The teachers are there, you know what I'm saying, fighting for their life sometimes.
So we got to, I posted a quote on my my Facebook and my Instagram the other day.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and it said, back when I was a kid, today's kids get iPhones to play with when they bored. When I was a kid, what excited me was putting glue in my hand and peeling it off.
Oh, you want to know? Okay, you should think up your nose? You should think up your nose.
No, I'm just saying, no, glue. Remember the glue you used to put in your hand?
Yeah, I know
Elmer's glue.
Elmer's glue. I had Play-Doh.
But that's what I'm saying.
Remember Play-Doh?
But that was that.
And remember slime?
Slime.
Slinky, used to have
Slinky,
that. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something, man.
But all that stuff you guys got today that help you not pay attention to life and what's going on around you. Because I'm gonna tell you something. I love my life. I do love my life, and I'm not gonna be walking around here talking on no phone and not paying attention to my life. Because the one thing you're gonna realize.
Do we love our life? That's a good question.
I don't think people do love their life.
Do we love our life? That's really deep.
I see people texting and driving. I see people walking and texting.
Take it further. Stretch it further. Take it beyond texting. I want to go to the keyword and love your life.
Yeah, and people they don't love themselves. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm talking about.
To not be doing, to not do. That's what I'm saying. But not doing. But not to not think. Oh well, I love my life, and I'm not going to text. I'm going to wait till I stop somewhere, or when I got a time to text.
Okay.
They're just going to text right there and not pay attention to the world.
Okay.
And I'm like, how is that possible? Like, when did you decide that texting or the person you're responding to is more important in your life?
Like this. Some people live a destructive life, you know what I'm saying, beyond texting, beyond driving, and claim they love their life. Some people live a reckless life as well.
That's crazy to me.
But, you know, but they say they love their life.
That's crazy to me.
One person said, Calvin, I love you. I said, you know, them a nice thing. You desire to love me, but you don't love me because you haven't loved yourself yet. And if you loved yourself, you wouldn't do the things you would do to harm yourself. Word. So how can you love me? You desire to love me. You don't love it. We say we love each other. And I'm saying, like, we get up and out of, like, we change our drawers every day.
And don't show out of bed.
What does love look like? To me, you know what I'm saying, one, you know what I'm saying, definition, one, not just, it's many of them. One definition of love is a verb to me. Love is an action word. It shows. It embraces. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the word love. And out of it comes so many different offspring.
And one way of love is, some people don't have to tell you that they love you all the time. They just show you they love you all the time. And they'll tell you every now and then.
I agree with you, Carlos.
You know what I mean? So
that's very true.
What did he say?
He said too many people are, you know what I'm saying, are into posting their personal things on social media. It's pitiful.
It is pitiful.
It is pitiful.
You better tell me, brother.
You know what I'm
Carlos, I like that. Thank you.
It is pitiful. It is pitiful.
It's crazy. It is. It is. And people, and then they want to get mad when somebody posts something about it. Like, this is bad.
Crazy.
That's I'm like, well, if I'm telling you that what you just did was bad, then that maybe you should edit and take it down and delete it.
You know what I said?
Rather than fucking an argument.
Don't upload your business if you don't want me to download my information to you.
Now.
If you upload your business,
say it one time.
Okay. Oh, you about to dance with me?
Say it.
Oh,
say it one more time. Say it one more time, Calvin.
What's your name?
Say it one more time.
Don't upload your business if you don't want me to download my information.
And that's the
how
thing.
I kind of look at it.
And that's the thing. Everybody posts stuff on Facebook and then want to be upset when somebody says something out of the ordinary. Like I was telling you guys a couple weeks ago, two friends of mine on different sides of the earth, never met each other in their whole entire life, but had a big argument on Facebook and don't even know each other. And they talking to each other like they knew each other all year, like dogs and cats. And I'm saying, well, how are we supposed to change the world if y'all gonna sit up here and talk to each other like this on my page? You know what I mean? On something that I agree, that I was talking to.
Okay.
And I said to them, y'all need to sit down and watch my show because this is what we're trying to get. We're trying to get you guys to understand each other, not fight with each other.
Exactly.
And there's a difference of understanding and fighting.
Because you know why? Some people don't listen to hear. People just listen to respond. Because some people just want to listen to you just to respond to give a quick answer.
And nobody likes a talker, by the way. Who? Nobody likes a talker.
We like a talker.
No, I'm saying I think I'd be a listener.
Yeah, but
I'm just talking about people in the world that talk. The people that always want to have something to say. No, we always do.
Okay.
But what I say is people always got something to say. Always need to be talking like they can never, you know, it's everybody always think they want to know everything.
You can't know everything. Listen, you know, I'm a product of that too. You know,
back then.
I used to thought, see, I love it. Back then, way back, I used to think I knew everything.
Yeah.
I used to thought I had an answer. But then I found somebody, you know what changed me? A lot of things changed me. I saw somebody, you know what I'm saying, that was doing the same thing to me. And I said, oh my God. Do I act like that? It made me want to change as well.
Somebody said to me,
like, how do you want to think you know everything?
We have a great conversation. Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah, I know.
How do you know everything?
The motherfucker said to me, Ty, you can't know everything.
Exactly.
I shut the hell up right then.
Exactly.
I shut the hell up right then. I said, you know what? You're right. Because I'm learning stuff every day. Every day I got to learn something. You know what I mean? And if you ain't learning something every day, something ain't right. Because I think there's too much going on in the world every day that you can't learn something.
You know what? I just want to compliment. I love your bow tie you got on today.
I appreciate that.
That's a nice bow tie.
Hey, now. That's what I do.
Such a nice bow tie.
That's what I do.
Okay. Are you? Did you just snap your suspenders? Oh my goodness! He snapped the suspenders on me.
You know what I mean?
All right, I feel you.
So with that being said, so now I'm gonna get on Oprah because Oprah has
Oh God.
Oprah has done turned me the wrong way.
She
now.
turned you the wrong way. Why she turned you the wrong way? What she said?
You know, this is so she knows she built that school in Africa for all these girls over there, right?
Okay.
You know how many black girls we got over here that need that school too? $140 million she spent on this school in 10 years. Okay. I'm just saying, we got a problem in America with black teenagers that that are getting taken from our neighborhoods every day, that are getting missing and nobody cares about or nobody talks about.
Right.
But we're gonna let her go. We're gonna praise her for going to Africa, open up the school.
Let me play devil's advocate. Did we praise her? You know what I'm saying, for doing something rather than doing nothing? So you feel she should have did something here? You know,
I'm talking about everybody. I'm talking about her. I'm talking about 100 million people. I'm talking about everybody that goes to Africa and decide they want to build something else out there. Help here because America is supposed to be so great and we're supposed to help our own.
But
we don't never help our own. And this is another thing.
Can we help our own?
You know another thing
Well,
about back to
well,
square
our
one.
own allow us to help them.
No, back to square one. Because when the Europeans started finding out what they were doing to the blacks over here, they started getting involved and they tried to shut it down so they didn't know about what's going on over there. That's another thing too. The Europeans don't know. They don't all know what happened to us over here. You know what I mean? They don't know. They don't know about
what happened to us where?
Here in America, like slavery. They know about it because they read it, but they don't know about it because
they didn't experience it.
They know because they weren't seeing it. So in 1967, when this riot went down, they started seeing it because they were starting to show it to them.
Exactly.
But they didn't know.
You think they know about it now?
Oh yeah, they know about it now.
Why do you think they know about it now? Because you just said it.
Because they television.
Okay, keep going with it.
What do you mean?
Because we have so many streams and so many
platforms
that we can use.
And they can't hide it no more. That's what I'm talking
about. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about when it comes to racism. Racism has always been there, but now people say, you know, why is it out there so much? Has racism is on the rise now? No, it's not on the rise.
Why we can't have schools like that for our kids?
So why don't we get Oprah Winfrey?
I'm just saying why we can't solve hunger in America? Why we can't let all these millionaires give some $1 million in? I mean, because with all this money that's in this America, we can figure out some way to solve this hunger and this education problem. Now, maybe they don't want us. Maybe they don't want those people to be hungry, be fed. Maybe they don't want you to have everybody educated.
That's
because
correct.
as long as they have you not as smart as them,
why do you think they don't want
keep
everybody
winning.
to be educated?
They keep winning because they keep going up and they keep giving it to their kids, and that's how their kids get where they going because they, you know, that's another thing in America.
Who's they?
We don't know who they is. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know who
they is.
I don't know who
because
they
you know
is.
what they could be. They could look like us.
They can look like I don't know
because
who
you know
they
what?
is.
They can look like us because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Me, you know what I'm saying, being a black male, they can look like us. Because you know why? Because if I abolish hunger, if I abolish, you know what I'm saying, what we call modern day slavery, if I abolish, that means now you on the same playing field with me. And sometimes people don't want you to be where I'm at. They're okay with you succeeding a little bit, but once you start rising and now we on the same playing field, it becomes a huge issue. You know what I'm saying? And that's called the enemy. Oh, I want you to hear that. Not enemy, but enemy. It both sounds alike, but you have to really get in touch with that. The enemy starts to arrive. Like, I don't want you to be on the same playing field. Come on, I see it every day, you know what I'm saying, in corporate America.
Because, you know, even at my job where I train people at, you know, I always tell them, I want you to be better than me. Because if you strive to be better than me, then you've done something.
Exactly.
Don't be as good as me, but be better than me.
That's right.
I mean, and that's the whole point. When you want to teach somebody to be somebody or do something, you got to tell them, be better than me. And you can be envious of them for being better than you. You can be jealous of them. But that was the whole goal. The whole goal is for let them be. When you teach somebody something, to be better than you are. Right. You know what I mean? And better than the next one.
And that's what I definitely trying to teach my children.
You know what I mean? Because that's the only way you're gonna be recognized. As somebody said to me over the weekend, you want to be different, you want to be unique, and I'm always being different. I'm always going to be unique because that's who I am.
Thank you, lovely. I appreciate you.
I ain't going to be nothing else but that. So it's just up to you. It's up to you.
Be better than me, and that's the thing. But at the end of the day, when little is known, little can only be expected. Because if you only know little, how can you give more? At the end of the day.
But you show more every day. It's just up to you to take it.
Exactly.
Because I'm telling you, every time you posting that little stuff you watching on Facebook or Instagram things, as you go through all those pictures and all that crap,
you know what
somebody told me? Good stuff up in there too.
You know what somebody told me? They said crack took over the 80s, but social media has killed them. Saying this 20th century.
Everything.
It's because you know what?
They killed
crack
everything.
hit the teenagers and people. Crack hitting them. Crack hitting them. Our parents and everything else around that age.
It was crazy.
But you know what social media did? Social media got them from 7 and up. They got it from 7 and up. And social media has become the new epidemic.
But we blame that too on? The parents.
Who?
We got to blame it on the parents.
Do we blame the parents?
We need to blame the parents.
Okay.
The parents are a big part of this.
It is a big part.
Because every time you turn around, you know
Tell me how.
Because every time the kids want to do something, instead of giving them a book or something to read or taking them to do something, you gave them an iPad to look at and play some games on. I mean, now you got to fight with your little 2-year-old on the train because you've been letting him play fucking Candy Crush all day long and now he don't want to do nothing else.
But let me ask you this question, though. Let me ask you this question. Let's play devil's advocate for a minute. But there's also,
also goes.
Go ahead.
I seen those same kids. I saw some other kids, same other kids, same age on the train, and their mother gave them a book instead of an iPad. And they didn't fight. They didn't cry. They knew they read their book.
But that's a selective few, and that's what we were talking about. I read every minute, you know what I'm saying, than the majority. But let's look at it. You know what I'm saying. You buy your daughter, you know what I'm saying, who's 6 or 7 years old. You buy her an iPad. You didn't buy it with the intentions of what you knew she was going to do. You was a gift. At the end of the day, when you look at you just want to...
7-year-old ain't got no business getting no iPad as no gift.
Why not? Why not?
Because of that reason right there.
What reason? Because it had children games on it. It corrects good motor skills. Come on now. You looking at it from the negative one. I'm looking at it from a positive point of view. You looking at it, you know what I'm saying, from Candy Crush. I'm looking at it for her motor skills. You have to look at it from two. It depends on, you know what I'm saying, what stream you want to go for. You can smile. I love it.
I'm just talking about.
I'm being honest, though.
I'm being the honest truth.
Yeah, okay.
She's going to do more playing games than she's going to be doing her motor skills.
Back in the days, I had Atari. I couldn't afford the 7600. I had the 2600.
Right.
Had the $50 one. $49.99.
Okay.
What was wrong with Pac-Man? They used to have this game that, you know, say it was like a ball and 2 sticks. Go boop, boop, boop.
Word
used to
up.
do that. And
Word
that was
up.
like entertainment. And I had to ask permission when I could play the
that,
game.
of course.
And I didn't get to play it
No,
every day. It
you
might
sure
have been
didn't.
hopefully once a week.
Or maybe on the
My
weekends only. What are you talking about?
Exactly. My recreation, I had to go outside. We played freeze tag.
You
1,
play
2, 3,
everything. Basketball.
black court.
Everything you play
basketball.
outside.
But now
you can't even get your kids to go outside and play nothing because y'all want to play on that fucking video game because your parents allowed you to do it because they were too lazy to be parents. That's the problem.
Are they too lazy to be parents?
Too lazy to be parents.
Let's not say they was too lazy to be parents.
That's what they were doing.
I don't agree with that.
Or working hard.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, now we
go.
got something.
Sorry.
Because some people might be working.
Sorry.
You know what I'm saying? Creating, you know what I'm saying, a job, you know what I'm saying, as well as that. But when you look at that, are they really too lazy? Oh my God, you're making me laugh. Are they really too lazy to be parents?
Sometimes they are.
What? Or maybe they didn't know no better.
They know no better because
maybe they didn't know no better. Because when little is
known,
known, when little is known, little can only be expected.
That's true.
If you only know little, how can I give you more? But most people, you know what I'm saying, most of us today, and we do it so wrongly, you know what I'm saying, we blame our parents for things they have done. When we find out in our later years, we have just as much as our parents inside of us.
Oh, totally,
but we're still blaming our parents for things they're doing. But then we find out we're like our father John. We're like our father Calvin. We're like our father, you know what I'm saying, Ty. Because you have just as much as in, you know what I'm saying, in you that, you know what I'm saying, you still curse your father out too.
So the day I realized I had my mother's mouth on me and I had my dad's attitude.
Okay.
I had to learn that sometimes I don't have to say nothing, but I'll say something right and say something wrong.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Or I can not get upset and deal with why I'm upset rather than just fucking sit in the corner and pout about it.
You pout?
You know what I mean? It was my dad used to do. My dad used to sit in the
but
corner
at what age?
upset. He was a grown ass man.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about me
so
as a kid.
So they had a man tantrum.
Right.
You ever had one of them?
Yeah.
I had them.
Yeah.
I had a man tantrum.
Every now and then.
So you know what I'm saying?
But a lot of times I do mine in private.
You sure?
Because sometimes
everybody's watching.
Because sometimes I don't.
Somebody saw you.
Because sometimes I don't want. I don't feel like. I don't feel like the person I'm mad at should have to feel the wrath that I'm about to give them.
Okay.
Because.
So let me ask you a question.
This wrath is my wrath.
I want to say, okay, come on, Christ. You got like you the Christ right there.
I'm just saying that when I get upset,
we do some big words like
I know that sometimes I see red and I don't give.
You see red, so you need help.
No, I'm just saying that I just like, you know what?
You see red.
I don't even care.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If you don't care, then I don't care. But I'm saying now I can't. If you don't care, doesn't mean I don't have to care. Because I care.
So let me ask you a question. So you able to turn it on and turn it off like that?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay, I like the word sometimes because we're not able.
No,
we're not able to turn it on and turn it off like that.
No, I'm saying sometimes.
That's a cop out. Let's not say perfect.
No, I'm just saying.
I should say it too. I figure out it was a cop out. Don't get it right. No, I'm saying because you know what people say. You know, well, I'm not perfect. That's a cop out. We understand you're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. You know, you're perfect. Okay.
God made me perfect, okay? And told me I can make my own mistakes.
I hear you.
Hey, now, tell me I'm wrong. Because in God's eyes, I'm perfect.
Okay, in God's eyes.
Because he said I can make mistakes.
He said?
You know what I mean? He said.
He said that?
Yes, he did.
What scripture is that?
I forget what scripture.
I don't believe it's a scripture there.
Is it a scripture?
He said I can make mistakes. He don't say he accept you with your mistakes, but he ain't tell you to go make them.
And I make them, but he'll accept me for my mistakes.
Yeah,
right?
You know, he'll accept you.
Maybe
he would accept you.
My words were wrong. He corrected my words.
I didn't correct your verdict or your verbiage.
My verbiage. My verbiage.
Okay.
Thank you.
I want to know what scripture that is. You know, I'm about to go read the Bible right now. You know? Yeah, this is good though, man. I'm saying, man, you know why I love this show? We get to have fun.
And that's true, but you know
what I'm saying? And it's entertaining. We love our viewers. Our viewers tune in. They give us so much great input. They give us so much great advice.
But I also, as we do all this stuff, I also hope you guys are doing your part in the world too.
What kind of part they need to do?
Because no, what I'm saying is they're watching the show, so they just start talking to people about the topics that we talk about and see what other people are thinking and how they feel. We are getting out there. And that's what people are watching.
Did you tell them about the podcast that's coming in a couple of weeks?
Is coming in a couple of weeks.
We have a podcast coming in a couple of weeks.
YouTube channels.
It's going to be on iTunes as well. We have all these great streams that's coming. You know why? Because I think Todd was telling me, you know what I'm saying? I remember when you first started the show as well. Before the show aired, we were just talking about it. And you're like, you know, we just have conversations. We have conversations every day. And at the end of the day, somebody else needs to hear our conversations. Because our conversations sometimes are inspiring.
They're crazy.
And when you get inspired.
We surprise ourselves sometimes with what we say to each other.
Exactly.
That's the funny thing.
Wait a minute.
That's the funny thing that
this needs to be on air.
And this is funny that you never should be surprised at what you say or what you think, because sometimes you strike gold, as we like to say.
Exactly.
And you don't even realize that it's gold until it came out your mouth and then somebody else heard it.
Exactly.
And they're like, God, because that's what he says to me. He'll stop me in the middle of a sentence like, yo, Todd, say it again, because that was some good stuff right there.
It was great.
You know what I mean? And that's what it's all about, listening and learning from other people. Because, like I said, what's up in here can be put out. Is you need somebody to bring it out of you, and Cal brings it out of me as I bring it out of him. You know what I mean?
Like
and this is why we have this show, because we bring out the best in each other.
Man, you sound like a cookbook. You know, you sound like a Hellman's commercial.
It's a
Remember, Hellman's used to say
it's
that.
True.
It said start up Hellman's and bring out the best.
Now.
That's an old thing. You not that? Are you that old? I don't think you remember Hellman's commercial.
Yes, I am.
That was an old thing. They used to have this commercial back in the day.
He got me laughing on camera.
But all jokes aside, they used to have this commercial back in the days, and it's so valid. It used to come on at 10 o'clock. I remember I was 8, used to seeing it. And most of the people that's up in age will know that. It says it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are?
The children are.
Where's that commercial at?
It still comes on.
You know what I'm saying?
It still comes on.
At 10 o'clock?
Yeah,
it says it's 10 o'clock.
One channel does 9 and Fox 5 still does 10.
You know why? People, you know what I'm saying, don't pay no mind to that.
That's the way the kids are.
Because the way a 12-year-old girl looked in the 80s do not look like a 12-year-old girl. Did you see that?
Thank you.
You saw that?
You brought me back. This is what I was talking about
Oh, my
today.
goodness.
So, I'm done. I'm so done with you parents letting your 12-year-old or 11-year-old daughter wear pom-pom shorts and walking around the neighborhood or walking around the streets in the city like that, and thinking that ain't no grown man gonna look at her, and then you're gonna look at the grown man like he disrespectful for looking at her, but you got her titties and her ass out. You know what I mean? At 12 years old. And
so
then wonder why
said?
she's attracted to other stuff when she get 15. Because you let her be attracted to those guys that were attracted to her.
But you know what somebody once said?
Not saying that it's right or it's wrong that she can wear pom-pom shorts.
It's not
I'm just
right.
saying
I don't agree with it.
It's not like for a little girl at 15, 16, 17, she still ain't old enough to do it. Let her get 18 before she decides what she want to do. Because at 18, now she's probably maybe at college or probably paying her own bills. If she, I don't know what point she is in her life.
At 18.
No, you don't want nobody to wear it, period. But if they decide they want to wear it, that'll be their choice to wear it. Not that something, you know what I mean? But
I saw my daughter. This dress too tight. Dude, I call her daddy daughter. I said, Daddy, come on, this dress is too tight.
And what she said?
I don't like that. She said, Dad. I said, I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? It's too tight.
It's bad.
And you know what it is?
I don't understand.
Sometimes it become a conflict between me and the mother. I said, I don't like this. I'm her father. I don't like this. But one person said, it was on social media, and said, you know, these little girls out here dressing like, you know, underage and dressing like prostitutes.
Like woman.
But they said, why are the grown men thinking like rapists? Oh, don't get quiet on
No.
You better respond back to that. You better respond. Hold up.
Thinking like rapists.
What are they thinking like that? This girl, you know this girl is young. You want me to say R. Kelly? What you want me to say?
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
What you want me to say?
I don't know because what I'm saying. No, because you know what I'm saying. The girl, I knew she was 12 years old.
I broke up. Listen, I want to say it like that. I broke up. I hate to say it like we was in a relationship. It sounds funny. I don't want to say broke up. I disregarded one of my friends because he said, you know, and he's the same age as me. You know what I'm saying? He's 40 and he's looking at an 18-year-old girl. I said, my God.
Right.
He said, no, she's older. He said, if she bleeds, she breathes.
Right.
I said, whoa. This is the end of this conversation.
And I would never be talking to you again because
exactly.
This is crazy.
And I knew this guy since we grew up. We grew up from 6 or 7 years old. As well as that.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Marcus.
I appreciate it. You know, so I knew this guy from 6, 7 years old. And you looking at an 18-year-old girl, you got a daughter that's 2 years old. I don't even want you around my child no more. If she bleeds, she breathes. What is that?
That's crazy.
She's 18 years old.
Crazy.
I don't care how she looks.
But this is, you know, we thinking that
it's
looks
accepted.
cute or
it's accepted.
Society. No, it looks cute. It doesn't look cute. You're like a whore. My grandmother used to always tell my cousins when they used to want to come outside in a little short, you're like a skank. That's what you look like. You're skank. A skank whore. That's what you look like. Okay? That's what you look like. You know what I mean? Let me tell you something. You don't want, if you want to attract somebody that's going to be good to you, that ain't the way to do it. Okay? Now, if you want every guy after you, then that's the way to do it.
I think I attracted somebody that's going to be good to me.
That's great.
I definitely, you know what I'm saying? I definitely did.
That's a wonderful thing.
I'm kind of happy. I've been laughing.
You gotta respect yourself.
I respect myself, and she respects herself.
That's what I'm talking about.
But she's amazing right now. I've been smiling for the last 3 weeks.
That's good, man.
She said, I'm happy.
That's awesome.
No, you don't know how awesome it is.
No, but what I'm saying is...
I just want to let you know that.
Thanks.
All right. Be happy for me.
I'm happy for you.
Celebrate your brother.
I am celebrating.
Right, you don't seem like you.
We got to figure out this problem that we're having with these young little girls dressing the way
they dress. Is it a problem?
It is a problem.
It's an epidemic.
It's an epidemic.
You know what I'm saying? Not a problem. It's an epidemic.
This is crazy. I don't understand that we let these kids come out of the house, and then it ain't even that they went out of the house and got dressed somewhere else. It's you walking down the street with your mother and father, and I've seen mother and fathers with their daughters walking out, and then the father looking at everybody else looking at their daughter. I'm like, well, if you let her come out like that, this is how you say people. This is what people gonna look at her. I mean, you guys got to figure out what you want your child to represent when they go out into the world. Because you want them to represent being a slut or a whore and dancing on the pole when they're 18 or 19. This is what you're asking.
They're going to do all that?
This is what you're asking for, having sex, because you don't want them to have sex, but this is what you're asking for.
So that's the route they're going to take when they dress that way? I'm asking you.
Majority.
Okay. What's the census on that?
I mean, we look at
who?
Look at our population and look at the young kids that are having babies and where they came from and how they came about. You know what I mean? Even if it's innocent sex, you know what I mean? That two people together. Innocent sex, what I mean is a guy, high school sweethearts.
Is that what you call it? Okay, that's the cover. Go ahead.
When I call it.
That's what you call it. Okay. Other names for it.
Well, what I'm saying is
promiscuous. That's another name for it.
What I'm saying is, we're talking about the couple that actually, had a kid at 15 and they stayed together.
The couple at 15 years old.
Well, because a lot of them stay together until they still together to today.
There's no couple at 15 years old. My daughter.
There isn't.
Not my daughter.
There wasn't.
15 years old. You're making excuses.
But kids gonna be kids.
You're part of the problem right now.
Kids gonna be kids.
Kids gonna be kids.
But all you have to do is educate them.
That's bull.
No, it's true.
And true in your world. My world don't exist that way.
I'm just saying.
Because you know what? Somebody told me, well, Calvin, you was once young too. I said, yeah, I was once young. So that's a pass for my son or my daughter to do the things I was once young.
No.
At the end of the day, I sold drugs when I was young. So if they sell drugs,
but
that
you
means.
gotta remember too, you was a kid. Too.
So what?
You was sneaky too, right? They know how to be sneaky too.
So how about an ungodly kid?
What about an ungodly kid?
You don't know what ungodly?
Yeah,
you want the definition of
ungodly? No, I'm saying, what about them?
An ungodly kid and a godly kid, you know what I'm saying, comes out two different examples as well. Please, you know what I'm saying, don't use that.
Yeah, but you also know the guided kid can also get around and stuff.
And I was also
like... the unguided kid can do.
Oh, stop it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you because I'm a prime example of that.
Okay,
so that's what I'm telling you.
Okay, that's your world. That's your world. That's how I look at it.
But there are people that can do it.
There are people that can do a lot of things. There are people, you know what I'm saying? That's not just only look at, you know what I'm saying, what negative, but also look at it as positive.
That's what I'm talking about.
Let's not be pestilent.
No.
I just want to let you know. Okay.
I'm not being pestilent.
Okay, I didn't say you were. Don't get shy. Talk up. You know what I'm saying? It's called being active, an active parent.
It is.
Active. Active parent, you know what I'm saying, don't mean stop by every month or every week and give you some money.
But you can be an active parent and kids still do bad.
Okay. Let's talk about an active parent, you know what I'm saying, who's predominant, you know what I'm saying, wants to go somewhere. Right. Let's not talk about an active parent that runs the streets.
No. We're talking about an active parent that was actually home, having dinner with their kids every night.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And then they turn out to kill them both. You know what I mean? That's what I'm just saying.
What kind of life you live? You live in Melinda's brothers?
Because that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Let's do this crazy.
But y'all don't understand that.
We don't understand that. They don't understand that.
And we don't.
No, that's a we. You by yourself. Don't say plural. Don't say plural. We. You know what I'm saying? You by yourself. I'm talking about somebody that's active. And most people, when they call being an active parent, meaning, you know what I'm saying, I'll pay the bills as well. That's not being active.
No.
You know what I'm saying? When the last time you've been to they still do this? You know what I'm saying? Now? Come on. Oh, they call it. Oh, that's for a house, brother. I'm talking parents teachers night.
That's what they call it now. Parent teachers meeting, PTA.
That's right.
That's what they call it.
You know what I'm saying? We go to PTAs. You know what I'm saying? You're involved in your child's, you know what I'm saying, report cards. You're involved in everything else. Listen. You know what I'm saying?
But let me tell you another thing too. Your child ain't got to play every goddamn sport either. Excuse my friend.
What's that got to do with being active?
Because what I'm saying is they let their kids do everything.
My son, let me see. My son plays soccer. My son plays softball. My son played basketball. And my son run a track. He did a lot of things. You know why? Because he was active.
And that's great.
You know why he was active? Because he wasn't active in the streets.
But also, too, you got to remember, too, you're in a relationship, too, right?
Yeah, keep saying the word relate. So the first thing is to relate. The last adjective of that word is shit. So you have to be able to relate, you know what I'm saying, in the relationship and be able to have intimacy with your son. Intimacy. See into me. To have intimacy, that doesn't mean nothing sexual.
No.
It means, you know what I'm saying, to be able to relate into intimacy into your child.
Of course.
And most times we need to see that. But we don't see that.
But people are doing it now. I'm just saying is that...
Who's people?
I mean, society.
Society's doing that.
They're starting to do it now.
Society's not doing that.
But they are.
Society has.
Forgetting about the mom and dad.
Yeah, you know. But that's our culture. But that's the culture.
But it's like, okay, yeah, you can do all that, but you also got to make time for you and her because that's.
Who's you and her?
The husband and wife.
But how you know it's a husband and wife?
However the situation is made up.
I'm not talking about man and man or woman and woman. I'm talking about what if you're a single parent?
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking whatever parent you are, whatever.
I'm talking about being an active parent.
That's what I'm talking about. You still got to be active. You know what I mean?
The key word, active.
Whatever you got to do, you got to be active. But what I'm saying is trying to being active mean being in their life and knowing what's going on in their life.
Thank you, Carmen. I haven't seen you in a while, lovely. How's everything?
Means.
Heard you went to a new job. Congratulations.
You know, when they come
Happy
from school,
you.
have a 10-minute conversation with them. Don't let them say, "Oh, everything was great," and go to their room. No, you stop them in their track and say, "How was your day?"
That's right. And that's what I do with my daughter and my son.
Today? What you do in school today? That's one thing my grandmother used to ask when I come every day.
I know
what you do in school today, and I was going to say nothing. He said, "What do you mean? You're sitting away in school for 8 hours and you didn't do nothing all day?" I didn't go up there and talk to the school. And I'm
exactly.
Like, what the hell are you going to talk to the school
But you know
about?
what some parents do? You know what I'm saying? Not putting nobody on black, but you know what some parents do as well? The child comes home, they go in their room. They come home from work and they go in their room. And you know what I'm saying? And everybody goes in their room.
And nobody don't say nothing?
Hello?
Wait, hey, you ain't telling, this ain't happening.
It ain't happening.
This better not be
You know what I'm
happening.
saying? Come on, I know it personally. And at the end of the day, I'm like, what is this?
This is not happening.
You create... Are you kidding me? It becomes a society in that community, in the house. Because I look at the household as a community.
There was no way in the hell I could
exactly,
get to my
because
house.
you know why?
And nobody ain't saying nothing to nobody when you walked in the house.
That's retarded.
That's crazy.
You know what? You know what's sad about it? You know what I'm saying? In this
That's
society?
crazy. How in the hell... I don't like
even the mothers allow the children to disrespect the father today, and the fathers allow the children to disrespect the mother. What kind of mess is this? Listen, I remember one time I tell you no lie. My father, they heard I was being bad. They heard I was being bad. I swear to you, they heard I was being bad. I don't know how I got back to my father. You know what I'm saying? Because I was with my great grandmother, and they heard I was being bad. My father came to school in PS 46. Called me downstairs. As soon as I got downstairs, boom, boom, blew my chest open. My mother used to look at me, and a look would scare the mess out of me. I remember one time she told me I'm coming over. I was shook.
As soon as she's got the words out of her mouth, she was shook already.
I'm like, because you know why? Most children that didn't grow up that way. And that's what we have to look.
But
now the children...
But you know why they have it?
Why?
Because now they're talking about, well, you got to call this number now if they put your hand... Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
My mother whipped me one time.
Sometimes you didn't have to whip, though. Sometimes all you have to do was talk to them sometimes.
My father whipped me.
And get to the bottom of the conversation like, well, why did you do that? Because they would shake the shoulders, I don't know. But
that wasn't acceptable.
It wasn't. You got to tell me why. If you don't tell me, I'm going to beat you until you tell me why you did it.
And they said, if you cry me, you something to cry for.
Hey,
I was back in... Listen, my grandmother used to tell me to go get a switch so she could beat me.
This is crazy. I mean, kids' parents, I don't understand.
They told me to go get a switch so she could beat me.
Word up.
My great-grandmother.
And don't come back with a small one. Don't you even try to come, because if you come out with a small one and
like,
brings me in first hit,
on?
I'm going to go out and get the biggest one I can find. I'm going to beat you with that one. That's how it was.
And then beat you on your legs.
And it ain't about, and then people always say, I was talking to a guy the other day, you know, beating your kids is not always the right thing to do.
That's a lot.
No, and some kids it's not right for. I mean, sometimes because
you can't put your hands on no one of your children.
Because listen.
Okay.
Because I was one of those kids. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna beat you,
once I got my first whooping, I didn't want no more. So all you had to do was tell me not to do something. I wouldn't do it, because I knew the consequences, and I just watched my brother and cousin do it.
I don't believe you.
That's what I did.
I don't believe you. I don't have to believe you.
Now I might have been sneaky sometimes and did it.
Okay. So if I catch him, I'm gonna give you a whipping.
That's what I'm saying.
Because you didn't understand from the first whipping. So that contradicts what you just said. All you have to do is tell you saying you didn't do it, so you were sneaking.
Sometimes I didn't do it.
You know what I'm saying? So you need to get a whipping. Hold on, let me ask
you. It depends on how bad it was.
Come on, man. People used to get whipped with extension cord.
I know, and I never had that.
You know what I'm saying? I know people that got whipped.
My great uncle used to send his kids to bed
extension cord
with no food.
What?
With no food and beat them. It was crazy.
Oh, okay, wow.
Where my uncle.
So you said you been hungry?
He's just kids hungry, and they knew not to. He had these kids like an army, bro. I'm telling you,
it's crazy.
It was crazy, but it. I wish I could see my cousins now and what they are and who they become and how if they had kids or whatever. Because to grow up in a Chicago, I don't know. There's
hope. You know why there's hope? You know what I'm saying? There's hope because I did everything.
But that's psychological.
I did everything, and I tell my children, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, because this will happen. They said, Dad, how can you say you don't do all this? I said, you know why? Because I did everything wrong, so I know what everything right looks like. You know what I'm saying? You say, well, you can't know everything. I said, I can't know everything, but I know everything bad because I did it. You know what I'm saying? I did a lot of bad things. I did a lot of wrong things. And if you did everything bad, you know about it. And I said, listen, so I know this is right, but you know what I'm saying? You have to make that change as well. And you know what I'm saying? I thank God for that. That change has come. And you know what I'm saying? I haven't only changed with what's inside me, but I've changed my circle.
How do we get back our kids, though? How do we start parenting? How do we start parenting our kids again? Getting them back from... I'm trying to get them back to where they're they understand the difference between right, wrong,
gonna
and
take some
difference
work.
too that there's a world out there that's going to tell you no.
It's gonna take work. Nothing happens overnight. But at the end of the
This
day,
shit happen overnight.
It shouldn't. That's
But
impossible.
I'm saying this happened overnight.
It didn't happen overnight. You're lying. You're
No.
not saying it right. You're wrong. Something's wrong.
Why?
I don't know what's wrong.
I saw this 20 years ago.
That don't make sense. What you
When
just
I was
said.
graduating high school, I saw these kids not getting spanked no more. I saw these kids run all over their parents.
What's
and I was
going on, Russ?
How is that possible? How is it we bless them for being bad?
And I had a problem with that.
How was that?
The mother of my children, used to bless my son, or reward my son for things that was being bad. I said, I'm not giving him nothing.
No.
And if you give him something, I'm going to take it from him.
Am I gonna-
And I will throw it in the
Boy.
garbage. Because I'm not with that. But my son today,
Boy.
my son today, as of
appreciate y'all.
today, he deserves everything.
Totally.
My son does that. Listen, man, my son, he's in Cardinal Hayes, 3.8 GPA.
Look at him,
on his
do
way.
it.
You know what I'm saying? I think he's either going to Penn State or UPenn. UPenn. My daughter has turned around her life. You know what I'm saying? Within the last 12 months as well. And I share this story with anybody. My daughter went to college. Within 3 months, she got kicked out as well. Running in college, doing everything she wants to, whether it's smoking weed or everything. Now today, 12 months later, she's working at Goldman Sachs, you know what I'm saying, as a trainee, have a mentor that's mentoring to her, one of the largest, you know what I'm saying, companies, you know what I'm saying, within the 500 of Fortune district.
Totally.
She had turned around. I used to sit here with you
And talk to me
basically
about it,
cry.
right.
And cry
Word,
about
he
it.
did.
Cry and
Yo.
drink. Because I didn't understand it. It's hurtful. That's my child. But look what can happen in 12 months. I remember
If you be the parent.
If you be the parent.
And that's the thing. You
But
can't
sometimes
be
you
the
have to-
fucking best friend.
Exactly.
It's okay to be a friend, but when you gotta be a parent, you gotta be a parent.
That's
I'm
right.
Sorry. I'm sorry, because let me tell you something. The world out there is not gonna understand.
Exactly. You still have them too,
It's
Juanita,
not
right?
gonna understand that you didn't parent your child. You know what I mean? Because what?
Juanita, you was goody. You was a good girl, Juanita. I don't want to hear that.
I'm telling you, because I be seeing kids out here today, and I'm like, this is not happening in front of my face. This is just kid, and they looking at me like, yeah, it's happening. It's really happening. I'm like,
It's
really?
crazy.
Are you kidding me? Because
You can't tell the parent from the child no more. Not because of age and they both look phenomenally good, because they both into the same acts. That's the thing about
crazy.
you. Like, you both in the same act, but you want your child to be respectful. You want your child to be different. How can it be different when you don't show no? You know what was a bad lesson and what we taught? Let's say, do as I say and don't say not what I do. That is so stupid. That's the most stupidest saying I ever heard. No, be the example you want your child to follow. Become who you want your child to be. At the end of the day, are you
because
kidding me?
your family was trying to get you to stop doing stuff. But what are they teaching you to do different? You know what I mean? Like you want to go your own way and do something that you believe in and you think you can do right in, and saying, oh no, that's not the right way for you, this and that. But what have you taught me to do different? Because you haven't taught me nothing different. So this is why I'm going this way. You know what I mean? I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Or not.
I do. I'm letting you talk.
So and that's.
But does that always happen? And then, you know what? That's true.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we act on things that things are not, actually told to us to do, but we actually imitate what we see. And and we do it blindly at the end of the day, because you could do something. Listen, I imitated my father, everything. I thought my father was amazing.
Word up.
And he did the wrong things, don't get me wrong, but I still love. But today, if you see my father today, he's a totally different man. He said, Cal, you know what I'm saying? He don't even call me Cal, I'm Story. He said, he always call me son. He'd be like, son, I used to dirty up the streets, but now I'm up cleaning up the streets. And how you clean them is because you work in sanitation as well. But it took him going to jail for 10 years. It took him being strung out. It took him, alcohol abuse. It took him, I'm going to say it this way. It took him with self-abuse. Him abusing himself. And I used to say, Dad, why are you doing it? He said, because it feels good. He said, I know it's wrong, but it just feels so good.
Wow.
But he knows he was very honest in all them statements. But it took a hurtful situation that happened, you know what I'm saying, with him. Listen to this. You know what happened? It took him a hurtful situation with my ex-spouse. My ex-spouse hurted him so bad. One time he went to a shelter after that because he wanted to come over and take a shower in the house. And my ex-spouse wouldn't allow him to take a shower. He said, I don't want your father in here. I remember that day, I wanted to strangle her. Being honest. I swear. Because my father,
of course.
he cried. And then he cried. I never saw my father cry.
Oh, wow.
My father cried and was like, did I do this? He went into a shelter, you know what I'm saying, 2 and a half years ago. Today he got himself together. He has been clean for 2.5 years.
Good for him.
So, you know what I'm saying? He's working with 3 jobs. He does sanitation, he does building maintenance, and he does a super. And he's a super of 3 buildings. But it took that pain. And he used to tell me this: if the pain ain't great enough, then you won't change.
You won't change.
He said that pain, and that joint hurting me. I wanted to strangle him.
No, that's true.
But you have to understand, because I didn't see the details.
No, that's true.
No, hold on, you don't get it.
I
didn't see the detail of what God was doing behind the work. I believe she was just a tool. He was using her to hurt him so he could change his life. So say that hurt would have never came.
No,
he probably would have still been there. And that's why I say today, as of today, I don't talk about her in a negative light because that's the mother of my children.
Right.
As well as that. But
some you spouses got to stop talking about your parents.
Exactly, that's the mother of my children. But what I will say, as of today, I think Paul said this in the Bible. He said, "Thank God I was afflicted." And I look at it like this. We don't say that when we're going through, that the pain is good for me. This is a gift from God. Because I don't like pain. I don't like pressure.
I do.
Okay, that's you. I don't know a lot of people.
I'm saying like pain and power. I'm saying I know that.
No, I'm talking about pain. That hurts.
No, I'm talking about I know that when something is, when you said you don't like to go through pain.
Trials and tribulations.
But you know those trials, they are trials and tribulations when you're going through them.
Yeah, but that's totally different. The trials and tribulations, I'm talking about you doing everything you can do, and you still being you're still being rejected.
Okay.
I'm talking about when I didn't have no job and still saying get out. I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying, when somebody's saying, listen, you're not a good father, you're not this, and still saying, you know what I'm saying, you doing everything, you always been there.
You always
and
been
you know what I'm saying? So like your wiseness has come up on me, but you know what it has made me a better me. So I say today, thank God I was afflicted. Thank God for my pain. I couldn't say that when I was going through.
No, you couldn't.
Because it put me in a better state and a better place and in a better mind state. Because now I'm able to handle such a way. I didn't know, no saying back then, was preparing me for what's happening now as well. Because we can't see the detail. I only see to the corner, but God sees around the corner.
Around the corner, the whole
and that's
block.
how I kind of look at it. Get around the whole block and come back and meet me back there while I'm still be waiting. Totally. I think he said he waiting at the finish line as well as that. The thing about here, this how bad he is. He said, I'm going to wait at the finish line, be at the starting line, and walk with you. You know what I'm saying? He said, man, I'm all things to everybody. You know what I'm saying? He said, I'll be your counselor, your healer, your provider, your walker, your talker. Whatever you need to be, I'll become. He said, if you need me to be a bridge over troubled waters, I'm here. He said, I'm here.
Hey,
he said, you can't. He said, I am. That's what I'm talking about.
Preach. No,
that's enough of that. But moving forward, you know what I'm saying?
I think we've had I think our hour's we've been over a little bit.
They're about to kick us out the studio already?
Yeah, I think we're over an hour already.
We appreciate you.
We appreciate you guys watching. Y'all stay tuned for next Sunday.
And my girl Latoya just tuned back in.
7:30.
You know what I'm saying?
Reality Subs.
Alright, let me tell you about Latoya. I'm telling you about something. You see Latoya right there?
I see Latoya.
You see her?
Yeah.
That's Future.
All right, Future.
Oh, okay.
Future in the house.
Okay.
All right, guys. Thank you again. We're going to have some more interesting topics next week, of course. But as I said, at the end of the show, every show, strive to be a better you every day and put a better you out there in the rest of the world and make everybody else better around you. All right? And that's how we're going to move this world.
Thank you. We appreciate you tuning in.
This is Amazing Cal, my co-host, and this is Ty.
Myrna, I haven't seen you in years. What's up,
see you
baby?
Guys next
New
Sunday.
Reality show. Please tune in.
7:30. We'll see you next Sunday.
7:30 to 8:30. We appreciate you.
Next Sunday, 7:30. Reality Sucks. Peace.